In today's video, I got the ultimate breakdown of Astra on Haven. I hope you guys can learn something from this video and take a bunch of these tips into your own game. Alright, so what we're going to do is go through all the steps of playing Astra on Defend. So basically, if you're playing Astra, you want to be able to have 2 stars on C, either one garage or in the window, like up here. And then I'd normally default one here, just because this spot's kind of awkward, whereas if you're trying to place it from here on the long, and you click, sometimes they'll get stuck on this box. So when I play Astra, I normally like to play either garage or C, because then I can kind of lock down those 2 areas. And what I do is I put a star, basically one here and one here is the default setup. So when they start pushing, that smokes fully, they really can't get out of there, and then you just pull. That's basically on a full push, and then you kind of just determine how often you're going to use your util. Whenever you're playing Astra though, you kind of want to just listen to what your team wants, because sometimes people will play aggro and they'd want to star up here and they can either nade it or shock dart it, or sometimes your teammate wants to push mid, so you'll either pull this or smoke this and then maybe drop a pull here. So if you're doing like an aggro mid play, what would you want to do is you'd want to drop a smoke here, cover that area, and then pull that side and have your teammate swing from garage with you while you hold the window area. Whereas if you're going to do an Aggro A play, what you'd want to do is drop a star here right near the last second, and then you'd either just give your team a pull, have them either peek short and then you peek long, or just dump util over here in this area with like shock darts or a raise nade. A lot of times when you're playing Astra though, you kind of just want to give a star at a certain area and then listen to your team, whether they're going to be like, oh yeah, pushing A, pushing A. So if they're pushing A, you already have your 1 star here defaulted that you lay at the beginning of the round. And then you hear, oh, pushing A, pushing A. So then you'll give them another one, and then they'll let you know either if it's short or long. So then you put one there or one there, and then you pull whichever area that they're coming from, just to slow that push down a little bit. Alright, so if you're retaking C on Astra, normally what I like to do is that you might have a guy flanking from long. So if you have a teammate flanking from long, you do not want to smoke this area. Instead, what you'd want to do is create a smoke to get yourself on the site. So either put a smoke here, or you'd want to smoke here, one of these cross angles, if you have a teammate coming long. If they're not coming long, then you can just go ahead and smoke that right off. But most of the time, what you'd want to do is you either want to pull this area or concuss that area. It depends what you want to do. And then in like one of these cubbies here, you'd like to like pull or concuss. It basically depends on where you're going to be peeking from. So if I'm going to be peeking from this area, I'd give a pull, and then he'd get pulled up into this middle area or be vulnerable, and you can just spam him through there or shoot him when he's right there. It goes the same with the concuss. You concuss the corner that they're probably going to be in, peek them, free kill. When you're retaking A, there's basically really only one thing to do, and what you want to do is never pull in this corner. In this corner, you always want to just concuss, because if you pull them, they're still going to be holding that angle for when you come out. So you want to put a concuss there, drop that there, smoke both those areas off, and then push in with your team. And normally you'll have a Silva that will like dart upper, so you'll know that a guy's here. Smoke that, knock that, boom. And then you can either also put a pull here in hell, if you have all those stars still, which really you probably don't, but you can put a pull here, keep that guy in there, and when this guy's concussed, you can peek out, shoot that guy, and then retake as a team. If you have your ult though on Astra when you're retaking, a lot of the time they're going to be using your ult for a retake. So what you want to do is line up so that they don't have this corner. You want to make sure that it's like here and goes right across to here, and then there's no way to peek. So basically here, there's no like corner angle that can really peek, and they're just going to have to fully swing you. Alright, and then if you're using Astra ult on C, what you want to do is just have it line up with long and just drop it right here to create a barrier here. That's really just to prevent a full-on spam from C if they are planning for long, which is right here, which is the default.
Start.
Mid behind.
Last player standing.
Oh my god.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, now for attacking on Astra. The main thing that I normally like to do when I'm pushing a bomb site with my team is I will give a star up in the window, up CT. By the way, you put it here so they can't just swing out and own this area. You put the star right here, and then they have to play fully off that. And then depending on where a guy plays, if they play backside or if they play in this cubby, I'll normally give a pull here and a knock right there. So that when you push onto the site, the guy at the back, those 2 smokes do that. And then the guy at the backside here will get fully pulled, and then a lot of people like to play this little cubby so you can stun that too. If you're going to be taking A with an Astra ult, you really just want to line it up with the window and CT. So basically you take it here, go right here, Drop that down so that it blocks the full window, and basically they have to fully jump out a window or fully swing that. Also, if you want to play a good spot too, you can play here and you can listen to all of them in CT and Heaven and play audio off that too. So if you're going to be attacking B, it's pretty straightforward. You really just do what every other smoke character does. You just drop 2 smokes here and try to take site. You can pull and concuss backside area if people like to play those areas often. Because a lot of times you'll have a guy that playing B where he'll peek either left or right. So if you know where he's going to peek, or you literally just want to force him onto one side, you can drop another one there. And then when you push up, smoke that off, smoke that off. You can pull that side and expect him to be in that, or you can just force him all the way here and have like 2 people watch this angle. And for the same thing on C, if you want to use your ultimate ability, you literally just want to line it up right here with Garage and CT so that they don't get any cheeky angles and can peek. You just toss that like that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hole here, but you guys will be able to hold this out, and then they can't get all the way up. Because if they try to get up, you'll be able to see them, and they won't be able to sneak up onto log. Alright, so when you're attacking C, there's basically just like 3 separate stars that are pretty easy to do. You literally just want to drop one here for Garage, drop one CT, and you can just pull back sight, because there's going to be a guy jump peeking it a lot of the times. And if you just want to do it overkill, you can also drop one there and concuss it. And what that will look like is a smoke there, and a smoke there. They can't push any of those angles. Pull there, concuss there. The only area you really have to be sure of is that there's no one hiding up here, just tucked in. That's the only thing, but a lot of times you'll have a Silva and they'll be able to clear that. But if you're doing a C split, then what you want to do is not smoke Garage. You want to smoke the window out and then CT. And then you can either do 1 star here to help your team, and then you can also lay your other one in Garage trying to pick off a guy hiding. So what I like to do is I drop all 4 of those stars, smoke the window, concuss here. My team should already be moving up C long, smoke that as well, and then pull back for them. We'd have full control of Garage and full control of C. After you already took one of the sites, what you want to do is you want to make sure to re-smoke the areas as well, just so that it delays the push even further, and still try to keep 1 star for the post plant. Alright, so for Astra post plant situations, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're in a safe corner where you can't be peeked from, and you want to make sure that when you drop in the star, you have at least majority of the ring at least like 2 or 3 inches away, just so that they don't pull onto the bomb and they're still on it. So an area like this would be really good, because no matter where they stick the bomb from, even if I'm in this far corner and I pull, they still get sucked into it and still can't defuse. So you want to make sure that that middle part is not anywhere near the bomb so that they get pulled off of it and are still defusing. I hope this guide helped, and please comment down below what other maps you'd like me to do.